I was telling him, if you haven't watched the Zeppelin documentary on Netflix, it's good. The one they all participate in, and they had old recordings of John Bonham talking, and very few of them out there, like interviews and stuff. But so it's kind of cool. Dude's a blast to watch play drums. Like,
I know. So bohemian.
God, just wailing on the kit, like
bohemian British drummers.
Nothing like a British drummer. That's probably why I saw that.
Bangers and mash.
If you said that the video, there's a new documentary of the Led Zeppelin story or whatever. So that's probably why I think the algorithm just starts feeding you that kind of content. Start getting you curious because why am I getting a short in YouTube about Led Zeppelin all of a sudden? It was like a cool little, rock and roll hall.
Because YouTube loves you.
YouTube loves me.
That's why.
You know me.
Here, enjoy this.
We've bonded.
Enjoy this. We need to expand your musical horizons.
Yes. Well, I know you two have been trying to do that, so I appreciate that. I'm not saying that it's worked, but
we didn't change the albums behind you.
Okay, we've got a little Tears for Fears. Are you gonna? Is it okay if I put this?
Everybody wants to rule the
Into the Wild.
That's been there.
Okay,
it's been there.
We're gonna show people what we do.
We don't have to.
No, we need to.
Did you? Oh, I'll just.
You might want to hold that.
Gildy Strums.
Dan, you might want to hold the guild. Ooh.
Little Ray Charles? You're in the way and I don't even know.
Ooh.
I don't smoke, but if I did, I'd roll my and go on and on. How much time did you say we had?
On and on and on and on.
We have tomorrow's gone. I mean, tomorrow hasn't happened. Yesterday's dead. All we have is right now. I don't know.
Wait, how can tomorrow be?
What did you drink?
Tomorrow's not gone. Tomorrow hasn't happened. That's what I meant to say.
No, if we're talking time.
Oh.
Talking time.
Okay, let's talk time. Jack talked time real well.
So here's the deal. There is no present and there is no future. There is only the past.
Ooh.
Oh, do you have a sticky notepad?
I do.
I just want to write that down.
Did we write a song about that
Note
yet?
to self.
There is only the past.
Okay, so unpack that.
We have no perception of anything other than in the past.
It's our only frame of reference.
Yes.
It's so true.
Not only frame of, it's all there is. So yeah, I mean, you're right. That's a perspective on that only frame of reference we have. But like, identify what the present is, and you'll be referring to the past.
Exactly.
Yeah, your history, what you know, experience, everything.
Well, even right now.
It's
Right then?
It's past.
No, right.
What Bo just said 3 minutes ago is the past. You know what I mean? It's like, that's the past.
It's all the past.
Oh, we're gonna get stuck.
I'm saying it's all the past. Yeah, we get stuck in the time loop, but it's not. It's just the past.
No, it's just the past.
That's why there's nothing new. Under
the sun.
That's why you gotta make it beautiful.
I like that.
No, that is. But I think people. So we started unpacking this concept, or you shared this concept with us maybe a couple years ago. We were writing note to self, right? And that's, I think, what we've referred to, where I'm just playing a D chord on the piano and all of a sudden Dan just starts riffing these melodies on note to self. But then the song materialized in, I don't know, what, 30, 40 minutes. We have this thing sketched out, but then we step back and we're like, what are we singing about? You go, yeah.
So the first line.
I'm giving you the Cliff Notes.
The first line is one that you've got to read a few times.
Dude, are those your landscapers?
Oh, I'm getting sucked into the vortex.
Yeah, we got the grass is getting trimmed.
The grass is getting trimmed out there. But the first line, in action is the best course of action, is one that you got to read a few times. It's one that when we opened up to it in the binder and it was like, okay, in action is the best course of action. Let me think about that.
So don't write a song?
It's like, no, in action is the best course of action. That sounds like a
Sounds like an oxymoron.
In action, the best course of action. You know, it's like unpack that in and of itself.
Which,
If I showed you my binder for
by
this
the way,
song,
here's the binder notes.
oh man, I didn't know we were show and tell. I would have brought my.
Dude, I didn't know we were showing binders.
I don't know how far down was that. That is, oh, that's near the bottom. That's page 26 in this lyric book. Oh, there it is. Hold on.
But even just the melody of it was like, we need to make sense of this line and then move
I got
forward.
the.
Ooh.
There it is. Mine, as you explained it to us, when we got to the point where you were explaining it, I wrote all over that page in my binder.
And I remember that you two were discoursing in a feverish manner, but in a good way.
After we had recorded what you were doing.
Well, no, I was just saying. I just remember I just kept playing, and I was like, "Don't stop," because I was in this thing I was happening with the D chord where I didn't want to lose it, and I just wanted to keep it going. And you two were talking, and then you were riffing melodies, and I'm just like, "Just stay on the D chord."
And then, yeah, and we actually we riffed on that, and we actually sang through it and captured it,
yeah.
before we had the conversation, because it was like, all right, what is this about? Does this even satisfy what you were trying to communicate in these lyrics? Because I didn't completely understand it yet.
Same.
And I think that we talked about that in another episode, where some of the beauty of the creative flow and the chemistry and what's just going on is it's not, you know,
Don't overthink it.
it doesn't always have the full explanation or the story or anything behind it. But so when we got to that place musically, and then you said, yes, actually said in a very Bo way, yes.
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 The more of that face.
It may have even been a more of that. I don't know. I don't want to dramatize it, but it was just it was really special. And then to learn that it did gel so well with the lyrics and the meaning of the song. To then consider that repetitive piano, and it just resonates the entire time, right?
Yeah.
Just that downbeat.
Well, even that acoustic guitar thing that we ended up doing,
yeah, exactly.
which we have talked about, but yeah,
Which is like the same old story.
yeah.
It's the repetition. It's the
Yep.
cycle. It's we're living in the past.
We are reruns.
You got to talk about this.
Yeah, we are reruns, right? We are reruns. Recycled,
Shown in Technicolor.
shown in Technicolor. Oh, what about recycled secrets?
That's in the verse.
That's in the verse. Yeah.
In the first verse.
I'm referring to the bridge.
We are trash cans.
Yes.
Recycle.
We are
secrets.
reruns, shown in Technicolor. Who's saying Technicolor? Who
Bo
even-
Chansey and Chris Martin of
Yes.
Coldplay.
Oh, did he say it?
Yeah, same old story, but no one's watching. Like it's just, we think our lives are. I mean, okay, our lives are important, but not in the way that we think. Like we think the world is revolving around us, which is a horrible way to live. Like even this idea of like sometimes people will say like, you know, make God the center of your universe. I'm like, how's it your universe?
Center of my universe?
I'm like,
God can't fit in there.
not judging another person and what they're saying in that regard, because I think they're onto something and, you know,
Sure.
exploring language and things like that. But personally, I hear that and I'm like, I don't have a universe.
Yeah,
In order to have a universe, I would have had to have created a universe,
sure.
which I have not done.
Which God did. God happened to do that.
You know, and so all the being upset and embarrassed and frustrated and, you know, striving and struggling and everything else, it comes down to trying to make a name for yourself. For me, like try to be somebody, prove my worth of something.
Or even just maybe feel accepted, right?
Yeah, it could be, but still, it's a version of that.
It's a version of that, correct.
I mean, maybe I want to be accepted, but why? Well, because I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and gosh darn it, people like me. You know.
Yes.
All right, so we keep doing that and doing that and doing that, and it's just the same old story. But nobody's watching. Like, so just chill out and go ahead, shout about your wrongs, shout about your rights, your days, your nights, your future, your past. Shout until there's nothing left. Shout to make it last. Like, it's not really an anthem of like, hey, let's get out there and shout about all the things we want.
Yeah.
It's just,
It's not a call to action.
it's like you can go ahead and do all that.
Yeah.
and we do with our lives. That's why we're, mad at our families, and we have these disputes, and it's like families fighting over trinkets after somebody dies.
Right.
And the relationship's over because, you wanted the plates and your sibling got them or something. It's
Yeah.
Okay. Really? I mean, in a podcast like this, we can say that and it's like, oh yeah, that makes sense. But in the moment,
No, yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Right,
but it's just shouting. It's just shouting about, well, it's my rights, my rights. Like, if you recognize that it's not your universe,
Yeah.
there's nothing new. Like, inaction's the best course of action.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, there's so much to unpack in that song because, and I can, in full transparency, that was a little bit of a paradigm for me the night that we wrote that. It reintroduced the concept of time. Well, you reintroduced it. I mean, we talked about it at length, I'd say probably for like an hour or so post recording and listening to it. And it sort of just it was a paradigm, like I said. So it shifted my thoughts on time. Like you said, there is no future, there is no present, there's only the past.
There's nothing new under the sun.
Yeah. And then just to kind of see things from that frame of reference, it also, I feel like when there's opportunities and moments where I can see how infinitely finite I am in the scope of everything, it produces in me more gratitude to just be here, to be alive, to have that gift. I think I read something like a week ago. It said where it's 1 in 400 trillion chance that we're here, like from a scientific equation. And I'm not sure how they deduced that.
Yeah, I heard something similar. Like it took 259, people in the odds of.
Oh, the odds. Yeah. Just like your family tree.
Created and,
yeah. But even just like whatever all those odds surmised would be 1 in 400 trillion that you would be, based on your mother and your father and the day and the timing and the point of conception and who, all of your attributes and all of that. Like, so just to even be here is just a gift, and so that song has helped me to kind of realign with that.
Yeah. Not the result of chance, but by divine decree.
Mm-hmm.
And once, we are what's behind us, that's how we identify ourselves,
Yes.
Not what we're going to do, because we have no idea what we're going to do.
Right.
Make all our plans and, dreams and everything. Those things are just reflections of the past anyway, which is even more of the past, and it's all been done. So the song is very much Ecclesiastes from the Bible, which I'd always thought Ecclesiastes was the most depressing book in the Bible. Like it was just so sad and so depressing and
like it's all meaningless. Yeah.
Meaningless. Everything is meaningless. It's like, oh, how sad, how depressing, until you live long enough or experience enough to go, oh, yeah,
I get it.
all that stuff that we're so upset about, meaningless. It's
Chasing after the wind.
Yeah, it's not sad. It's so hopeful. It's like, oh, yeah, like their being is better. Like to just, instead of proving, achieving, striving, succeeding, however we define that, which just gets so bizarre to be and understand that. What an amazing thing to be and to be loved, and wow.
So we set these expectations for ourselves, like you just said, like achieving. What is success? Isn't success for most people accomplishing something that you've set out to do, and the thing you've set out to do is probably rooted in an expectation that you've placed on yourself because of the past, or that you felt has been placed on you. And when you have those expectations, it sort of sets the framework of who you are and who you think you need to be. And so you begin to drive after this particular thing. Is that what success is for most people? Or are we talking about, like when you said divine decree, is there something divine placed in us that would drive us towards a purpose, and that's success. Like, what is this idea of success? Because I don't think we should have no goal. Personally, I was like, if I had no drive to get anywhere, then where would I be? Maybe right where I need to be. I don't know.
I think and everything down to the drive itself is a gift that we would be wired that way, and we're all created with the wonder of who he is and the need for unconditional love. And so, like, the need of his presence is evident in and around, but like we're made up of what we're born into, what our circumstances are, our family dynamic. We're all shaped in our philosophy and worldview and everything about life, our fears, our joys. So much is just shaped for us and in us and out of, and that's essentially what we're made up of in this world, a part of being earthly creatures, and therefore what we're drawn to, we find over time, or thank you, God, for the gift of, finding him and him finding us all along the way. But yeah, I believe that, right? We're woven with the wonder of who he is. We're created in his image,
Well, some people can just be in that. Some people can just know that what you're saying and just rest in that. But then also it's like, what is this thing that we have? Like, how did we get to where we are today if there wasn't a pursuit? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think I don't know that it's I think it's an and, I don't know what I just tried to say, but I think it's both, is what I'm trying to say. I don't think it's one or the other. Because I think
Right.
if you have no drive, you get nowhere. And if you have only drive, you still get nowhere. So how do you get somewhere?
You're already everywhere.
Okay.
But
That's what I'm trying to drill down on.
no, well, yeah, I'm glad. The idea would be like, all right, if you achieve more, will God love you more?
No.
Will he?
My mommy did. No, I'm just kidding.
Will God love you more if you achieve more? Is there
The truth of that is probably no.
right?
But what we're taught is that the more you achieve, the more you're valued.
Yeah, recycled secrets.
Yeah.
Lying, dying, multiplying. They keep coming back, and we just keep repeating the same pattern over and over and over again. That's why we keep shouting so much
Yeah.
and thinking that everybody's watching and cares about our shouts.
Yeah.
And they don't.
Here's my wrongs and here's my rights.
Yeah.
And my wrongs are your rights and your rights are my wrongs. It's like,
So identity acceptance and saying, well, yes, I truly believe that God's love is sufficient and that God's love is unconditional and I don't earn it and I don't deserve it and I don't achieve it. And so he freely gives it. So I am loved. So I can just be loved. So being is better. So then it's not a striving and achieving. It's not even goal oriented. It's not success driven. It already is success.
you've already succeeded.
Being alive, being loved, knowing who you are, knowing that you're here to love, and all that achieving and everything else doesn't even equal success. Because like we're all these successful people. Like we look at it and we go, oh, that's a successful person, and that's a successful
Based
person.
on what? Yeah.
But then ask them, do you feel like a success? Well, at what?
Right.
Like pick your category and show me the successful people that are thriving in life,
Right.
that are happy and whole and at peace and have joy and patience and kindness and goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control, the things that we're really to value. I mean, they may have money, they may have fame, they may have awards and recognition. So how their family's doing, like and that's not to say that that can't exist or coexist. To your point, it can be a both and an and, but I don't think it can exist in a healthy way without knowing who you are, whose you are, and then just
Whose you are. Yeah.
yeah, being out of that identity and allowing that to dictate what you do instead of trying to be someone. You are someone.
That's what you were just saying, essentially, Dan, right? You're talking about being woven, and I think you were saying it in a way of like, in us and through us, like around in us and around us, and having that knowledge, because I don't think you can get to what you're talking about, Bo, like that place of being versus doing, and just being, knowing that because you are successful because God's created you in his image and you're here. So it's the combination of knowing who you are in him and why he created you to be in relationship with him, where you find that's success, right? I mean, that's a one way of measuring it. But again, I'm saying measure, and there's probably push back on him if I'm wrong.
Oh, it's just it's so hard because it's so ingrained
It is.
in who we are, and like it's you set a goal, and then all right, what do you want to achieve, and then how do you achieve that? So
Right.
if that we do all these things, and they're just reflections of other things, and maybe even other people's dreams or ambitions, and then we're just doing them over again. And the ways to get those results oftentimes don't produce what you're created for, and which is joy and life and peace. And if it's not producing the fruit of the Spirit, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control, then why are we pursuing it?
And you probably also can't use it as a measurement. Yes. Why are we pursuing that? Yeah. I mean, I personally speaking, I mean, I grew up in a very merit-based culture. I mean, I'm sure many people have, but just, you take a test, you get a grade, and you get a good grade, you're a good boy. You get a bad grade, you're a bad boy. Even if you just didn't understand something, it's like you're bad because you didn't get a good grade, So, it's been a long journey for me to kind of unwind that in my life, and even just how I raise my kids to not be so merit based, and just allow them to be, and just allow myself to be. But yeah, I mean, and don't trip, he ain't through with me yet, but it's it's been a process. But I'm finding joy in that, in the being, But yeah, I think ultimately what you're saying is the fruits of the Spirit are going to be the evidence of how successful you even again, I'm trying to measure how successful you even are in being successful. If where's those,
Who values the fruit of the Spirit?
God does.
God does.
God does for sure. I think others would
Does
value it.
anybody else?
Yeah, I think many people would.
I'm not sure. I don't see it. Like,
Oh, okay.
what do we celebrate as a culture? Is that what we're celebrating?
Right. No. I think,
Is that what we celebrate in our family? Is that what we celebrate for our kids? Is that what preachers celebrate? I mean, I'm a preacher. So I had a choice to make, at a point. And do I continue on this trajectory of, my smoking hot wife and my all-star kids, and spinning this narrative of achievement and look at us and we're successful.
Wow.
And what you want to be, and so strive to be like us? Or do we knock that off? And I made a choice to not pursue what I had seen and what is common and kind of accepted. And I'm really glad. I wish I'd made it sooner, to just be. I mean, it's still a struggle. I mean, I wrote the song for a reason. I mean,
Wow,
it came right out of my journal.
Came out of your journal, right? Yeah.
I mean,
It wasn't even like you wrote a song. You went to your journal and was like, "Oh, I wrote a song in my journal."
Yeah, and I mean, some of it came out from like trying to get my mom and dad to love me more, which is they're amazing people. They're proud of me. They love. They've been incredible parents. I'm very fortunate in that regard, and I don't take that for granted, But like I think I tried to share through the night with them, and play the song for them. My mom was like washing potatoes at the sink and then left the room. And,
Like,
as soon as it was over, my dad turned the TV back up and I was like, all right, I'm going to go in the other room and process this right now.
Bro, I have the opposite issue. Like, I'll show, if my mother sees what I'm doing, she's like, she gets so hyped and passionate about it that I'd rather have her not. I would like, can you just go wash some potatoes, please, and just calm down? So it's like I'm looking in the same space, but from the opposite
Because
perspective.
it doesn't matter.
Right.
Yeah.
So if I get too much accolade and love on it, I'm like, I'm uncomfortable. I'm like, okay, just say you like it. You don't have to run around and show 5 people and be like, oh my God, look at this is amazing. I can't believe it.
But if they actually said, I like it, you'd be like, well, how? What do you mean? What is
Right.
that? What, tell me. And
If it was an appropriate response, like
can't just be-
like thoughtful listening and like, wow, that was really nice and I appreciated that. What do you mean by that? It would be like, please get more excited, or so yeah.
No, it's because it's not what we're wired for.
Yeah, when are we
We're
happy?
wired for like approve of me. We are approved. And those are the people I want to be around. People who aren't trying to get me to like them or think they're awesome or it's all about them or inviting me into their universe. It's like, I like being around people who are just like, okay,
Yeah, we're all here. Yeah, we're here.
we're okay.
Yeah.
Like, I'm okay.
Yeah.
It's not great, but I'm okay.
Yeah.
amen to that.
So like, I mean, success for me, like in regards to this song, would be 2 a.m. in the morning at a house in Vermont. I'm talking with you guys, like,
And it's playing to the speakers. Yeah.
yeah, and unpacking stuff that I've, been wrestling with and doing it together in community. I mean, like that, what a gift.
Yeah. Now, how do we not try to replicate that because we look back in the past and go, that was success? Yeah, well, it was a beautiful experience. And I think what I've narrowed success down for me at this point in my life, and it may change, but, and I love what you've shared today. And I want to think more on that. I want to be more. But I've sort of, moved my thought process towards success is achieving or accomplishing a goal or something that you've set out to do out of a place of passion and joy without crushing or stepping on people around you to achieve that. I think that's what at least has, and I don't know if I've been successful in that all the time, but it's definitely something that I try to have like in my peripheral, like as I'm looking to do this, am I crushing anybody? Am I stepping on anybody else? Am I causing somebody else any harm while I'm trying to do the thing that I'm trying to accomplish? That's at least what I've attempted to do. And again, I don't know if
You've not succeeded.
I could see that. Yeah. As I said that, I saw how crushed you were.
But hold up.
Hold up.
Hold up.
Hold
Mine
up.
eyes have seen the glory.
Yeah.
Mine eyes have seen the glory.
If you're expecting to accomplish much and not hurt people along the way, it already doesn't.
Yeah. Well,
Makes
yeah.
sense.
Yeah. I'm
I'm
fully aware of what I'm saying.
that's called as a good intention. And no, I think it's very true for many, right? It's good intention, but
You can't
good
do it.
intentions render us defeated.
Yeah.
And unless we're trained by God, His Word, and that we would pursue the fruits of the Spirit. Like, I love that. I love that reminder. Those are the things that He loves, and those are the things that I want to love,
But can we even pursue them?
and that I do love, huh?
Can we pursue them? You know what I mean? I think
We could pursue Him
right.
and the gift that
Well,
He
yeah, there's
gives.
like time with Him. I think that is
But that's it. We're
produces
woven. When I think of being woven with the wonder of who God is, and then you know what, you're right to wonder about who He is, because then you realize and you see who He is and how beautiful.
You say
and
that. You
wonderful
say that quite
is,
often.
and like who we were made to be in Him. That we would then pursue.
What is that wonder?
Him.
Yeah. What is that wonder? I'm curious about that because you do say that a lot. You say the wonder, and so
I think-
is that a curiosity or is that an awe? It's both.
I think in being made in His image, what we what we are wired to want and to do and to aspire to, and the character building that we would consider to be successful if we're really honest, and not the things of the world and how we measure in it and how we're doing at it and how our universe is better and greater and worth listening to. And if we pursue when it is our character that is shaped by who he is, then the gift is that we get to experience love, joy, peace, and so on. And
So the wonder is the curiosity so it's probably both then. It's the wonder, like being curious about, because now we're seeking. The curiosity would cause us to seek, and the seeking might cause us to find.
Yeah, if I want to know him and I want to trust him, and not lean on my own understanding, then I need to acknowledge that he is present in everything, and that's going to mean something.
You get to acknowledge.
I get to acknowledge that he's present in all things, and that's going to mean something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's
Yeah. No, I get you. Yeah, I was curious about, like, when you say wonder.
And so when I seek him in that, and if I acknowledge him in everything and I seek him, then I'm going to be able to see what he see. And it's not about me and having, let me control this even spiritually now that I think that God is it's like, whoa.
Well, the reality is we are wonderfully made, so we are full of wonder in design. And so in honoring the creator as his creation, to wonder is so hugely important to ponder and wonder, and because that's a part of how he created us and designed us.
This I know.
Yeah, I know full well. And
yes, I guess.
And so as we live that wonder out, it's not, I wonder who I'll be, or I wonder, what my life will amount to. It's I wonder what God's up to. I wonder what he's doing here. I wonder what he desires. I wonder, about who he is. I mean, these are the kinds of wonder that do produce love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. And just such a peace. I mean, I know that's one of those, but
yeah. So you're saying that curiosity about him, he's placed in us, like you said. I wonder who are you? Where are you? I want, and we're seeking after him. We're wondering. We're curious. We want to know him and pursue that.
Wondering can almost feel, even the word, if you were to envision just a scenario in which you're wondering, the wonder is an interruption in whatever you are thinking about doing, whatever's around you, whatever is going on in your mind. It's like to wonder is to, give
interrupt,
a disproportionate amount of time to something that's not being shaped or, and it's around you. And I think that's a part of acknowledging his presence. And it's like, wait,
that was well. So that's what I, as I'm listening to it, and I'm going like, okay, from this place of curiosity myself, when you said that, an interruption, that wonder should interrupt your own ability to perceive and think and try to figure out, okay, like I want to wrap my mind around this.
I think he sparks that. I experience him in sparking wonder in the midst of whatever's going on or conversation or there's a shift in the way I'm feeling emotionally, or there's a shift in my concentration. I wonder,
Yeah.
It just because he's made us to wonder, like, and it's wonderful. I love that point. It's like, man, when you said that, I was like, yeah, let's just sit and wonder about.
It might be better if we just stopped interrupting the wonder.
Yeah. Stop interrupting the wonder.
The wonder has to interrupt us.
More of
confusion.
Yeah. Just live in the wonder.
No, focus. This is what you're supposed to focus on. Hey, shout louder. We can't hear you.
Figure it out.
I don't want.
And you're just like, and then you can get criticized for being like, but it's like, no, like, I'm sorry.
I wonder who he is. I wonder who I am in relationship to him. I wonder, those are just.
Wonder what he has for me today.
To live in wonder.
Yeah, I wonder what.
Sounds like a wonderful life.
I wonder who he's gonna. Yeah.
It's a wonderful life.
Everybody's, I want to have a wonderful life. Well,
Wonder.
are you wondering? Like,
Yeah.
and not all who wonder wander.
Ooh.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, wow. Wow. The preacher's coming out.
Not all who wander wander.
Yeah, lyric coming to the
Lyric,
song
yeah,
here.
song coming soon.
I think I have. I do. Sorry,
could be
I think I
prone-
have that written down.
We might have it.
We're prone to wonder and we're prone to wander.
That's definitely in something I've heard.
Well, you don't have to wonder. We will have a season 2. Season 1 of the More of That podcast with Shiloh Battles has come to a conclusion. And thanks for listening. We'll see you season 2.